My name is Sarah Mitchell, and I'm a single mother to the most amazing 8-year-old girl in the world. Her name is Lily, and she has curly brown hair, bright green eyes, and a smile that could light up the darkest room. Life hasn't been easy for us. Lily's father left when she was just a baby, and I've been raising her alone ever since. I work 2 jobs, one as a nurse during the day and another as a waitress on weekends, to make sure we have everything we need. My parents, Robert and Margaret Sullivan, are wealthy people who live in a mansion across town. They never approved of my marriage or my choices. When my husband left, they told me it was my own fault for choosing poorly. But recently, things had changed. Or so I thought. "Sarah, we want to make things right," my mother had said 2 weeks ago when she called. "We've been too hard on you and Lily. We want to be part of your lives again." I was suspicious at first. My parents had barely spoken to us in years. But my mother sounded genuine, even tearful. "We're getting older," she continued. "We realize we've made mistakes. Please, let us take Lily on a trip. We want to bond with our granddaughter. We want to make memories while we still can." My father got on the phone next. "We're planning a trip to Disney World in Florida," he said. "First-class flights, the best hotel, all the parks. It'll be a dream vacation for Lily. And it'll give you a week to rest. You work so hard, Sarah. You deserve a break." I hesitated. A week without Lily? The thought made my heart ache. But she had been begging to go to Disney World for years, and I couldn't afford it. This seemed like a perfect opportunity. "Are you sure?" I asked. "Taking care of an 8-year-old is a lot of work." "We're sure," my mother said warmly. "We love her, Sarah. She's our granddaughter. Let us do this. Let us show you we've changed." After several more conversations, I finally agreed. Lily was ecstatic when I told her. "Really, Mom? Really?" she squealed, jumping up and down. "I'm going to meet all the princesses, and ride Space Mountain, and eat Mickey Mouse ice cream." Seeing her so happy made my decision feel right. Maybe my parents really had changed. Maybe they really did want to be a family again. I should have known better. The trip was scheduled to leave on a Saturday morning. The flight departed at 9 a.m. from our local airport. My parents were supposed to pick up Lily at 6 a.m. to get to the airport early. I had packed Lily's suitcase carefully, her favorite clothes, her stuffed bunny named Mr. Hoppers, her books, her medicines, she had mild asthma, and a folder with all her important documents just in case. "Remember to be good for Grandma and Grandpa," I told her that morning, kneeling down to her level. "Listen to what they say, don't wander off, and call me every night before bed, okay?" "I promise, Mommy," Lily said, hugging me tight. "I'll miss you so much." "I'll miss you too, baby. But you're going to have such a wonderful time. Take lots of pictures for me." At exactly 6 a.m., my parents' expensive black car pulled up outside our small apartment. My mother and father got out, both dressed in fancy traveling clothes. "Ready for your adventure, sweetheart?" my mother asked Lily, her voice honey-sweet. "Yes, Grandma," Lily said excitedly. I helped load her suitcase into the trunk. My father barely looked at me. My mother gave me a quick, cold hug. "We'll take good care of her," my mother said. "Don't worry about a thing." I watched their car drive away, Lily's small hand waving from the back window. I waved back, smiling, but something felt wrong. A cold feeling settled in my stomach, the kind of feeling a mother gets when something isn't right. I tried to shake it off. I was just being overprotective. My parents were taking Lily on a wonderful vacation. Everything was fine. I went back inside and tried to distract myself with cleaning. At 10 a.m., I sent my mother a text. "Did you make the flight okay?" No response. At noon, I called. The phone went straight to voicemail. At 2 p.m., I called again. Still voicemail. By 4 p.m., I was starting to panic. Why weren't they answering? They should have landed in Florida by now. They should have checked into their hotel. I called the hotel. They had mentioned the Grand Floridian Resort at Disney World. "I'm checking on a reservation for Robert Sullivan," I said to the front desk clerk. "I'm sorry, ma'am, but we have no reservation under that name," the clerk replied. My heart started pounding. "Are you sure? Can you check again?" "I've checked thoroughly. We have no reservation for Robert Sullivan, Margaret Sullivan, or Lily Mitchell for any dates this week." I hung up and immediately called my parents again. Voicemail. I called 5 more times. Voicemail, every time. Something was terribly wrong. I called the airline next. Can you tell me if Robert Sullivan and a child named Lily Mitchell were on your 9 a.m. flight to Orlando? I'm sorry, ma'am, I can't release passenger information, the agent said. Please, I'm the child's mother. I need to know if my daughter is safe. Let me check with my supervisor. After 10 agonizing minutes, the agent came back. Ma'am, I can confirm that no one with those names was on that flight. The room started spinning. What? Are you sure? Yes, ma'am. I've checked all our Florida flights today. No Robert Sullivan. No Lily Mitchell. I hung up and ran to my car. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely put the key in the ignition. I drove straight to my parents' mansion, breaking every speed limit. Their house was dark. No cars in the driveway. I pounded on the door until my fists hurt. No answer. I looked through the windows. The house looked normal, but empty. Like no one had been home in days. Where were they? Where was my daughter? I drove straight to the police station, tears streaming down my face. I ran inside and grabbed the first officer I saw. My daughter is missing. My parents took her and now I can't find them. The officer, a kind-looking woman named Officer Davis, led me to a desk and handed me tissues. Okay, calm down. Tell me everything slowly. I explained the whole situation, the vacation plan, how my parents picked up Lily that morning, how they never got on the plane, how they weren't answering their phones. And you gave your parents permission to take your daughter? Officer Davis asked. Yes, for a vacation. But they're not where they said they'd be. Officer Davis looked concerned. Unfortunately, since you gave permission and they're her grandparents, this isn't technically a kidnapping. But let me make some calls. She called the airport security office. After a long conversation, she hung up and looked at me with a grave expression. Miss Mitchell, airport security reviewed their camera footage. Your parents and your daughter did arrive at the airport this morning around 7 a.m. Relief flooded through me. So they're at the airport? No, Officer Davis said quietly. They checked in your daughter alone on a flight to Chicago. Then they left the airport without her. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. The words didn't make sense. What do you mean they left without her? Where's Lily? Where's my baby? Your daughter boarded a flight to Chicago at 9:15 a.m. alone. She's an unaccompanied minor. Chicago? We don't know anyone in Chicago. Why would they send her there alone? She's 8 years old. Officer Davis's expression was angry now. I don't know, Miss Mitchell, but we need to find your daughter immediately. Do you have any idea why your parents would do this? I shook my head, sobbing. No, I don't understand. They said they wanted to take her to Disney World. They said they wanted to be a family again. We're calling Chicago police right now, Officer Davis said, picking up her phone. We'll find your daughter, I promise you. But even as she made the call, I could see the worry in her eyes. An 8-year-old girl, alone in a strange city, with no one to meet her. Where was my Lily? Was she scared? Was she crying for me? Officer Davis spent 20 minutes on the phone with Chicago police and the airline. Finally, she hung up and turned to me. Your daughter's flight landed in Chicago at 11:30 a.m. local time. She was escorted off the plane by a flight attendant to the unaccompanied minor waiting area. And where is she now? Officer Davis hesitated. She's no longer at the airport. What? I screamed. What do you mean she's no longer there? Someone picked her up. A woman showed ID and paperwork claiming to be authorized to pick up Lily. Who? Who took my daughter? The name on the ID was Helen Morrison. Does that name mean anything to you? I thought frantically. No. I've never heard that name in my life. Officer Davis typed on her computer. Helen Morrison is 46 years old. She lives in downtown Chicago. And according to our preliminary investigation, she's a private adoption facilitator. The room went cold. Adoption? No. No, no, no. My parents wouldn't. They couldn't. But even as I said it, I knew. Suddenly, horribly, I knew exactly what my parents had done. They're trying to give away my daughter, I whispered. They're trying to have her adopted. Officer Davis looked shocked. Miss Mitchell, that's illegal. You have full custody. No one can adopt your daughter without your permission. Unless they forge documents, I said, my mind racing. My father is a lawyer. My mother knows people in every state. They have money and connections. They must have created fake paperwork saying I'm unfit or that I gave her up. But why would they do this? Officer Davis asked. And then I remembered something my mother had said years ago, when Lily was born. I had pushed it out of my mind, thought she was just being cruel in the moment. But now it came back with horrible clarity. You're an embarrassment to this family, my mother had hissed at me in the hospital. A single mother working menial jobs, barely surviving. That child deserves better. She should be with a proper family, not living in poverty with you. I had told my mother to leave and never come back. And she hadn't. Not for 8 years. Until 2 weeks ago, when she suddenly wanted to make things right. I need to get to Chicago, I said, standing up. I need to find my daughter right now. Miss Mitchell, the Chicago police are already investigating. They'll locate this Helen Morrison and— No, I shouted. I'm not waiting. Every second my daughter is with strangers, she's in danger. I'm going to Chicago right now. Officer Davis nodded. I understand. Let me help you. We'll coordinate with Chicago PD. But you need to stay calm and let law enforcement handle this properly. Can you arrest my parents? I demanded. We're already looking for them. They'll be charged with child abandonment at minimum, possibly kidnapping and fraud, depending on what we find. I called my boss at the hospital and explained the emergency. She told me to take all the time I needed. Then I rushed home, threw some clothes in a bag, grabbed my credit card, and drove straight to the airport. The next flight to Chicago wasn't until 6 p.m. I bought a ticket and sat in the terminal, my leg bouncing with anxiety, checking my phone every 30 seconds even though I had no new information. My baby was out there somewhere. With strangers, probably terrified and confused. And it was all because I had trusted my parents. I had believed they had changed. I had been such a fool. The flight to Chicago felt like it took a year instead of 2 hours. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I just stared out the window, praying that Lily was safe. When we finally landed at O'Hare Airport, I ran through the terminal. Officer Davis had given me the contact information for Detective Marcus Williams from Chicago PD, who was handling the case. I called him from the airport. Detective Williams, this is Sarah Mitchell. I just landed. Please tell me you found my daughter. Miss Mitchell, we've located Helen Morrison's office. We're heading there now with a warrant. Meet us at this address. He gave me a location in downtown Chicago. I jumped in a taxi and gave the driver the address and a $100 bill. Get me there as fast as you can. We weaved through Chicago traffic while I gripped my phone so tightly my knuckles turned white. 20 agonizing minutes later, we pulled up to a tall office building. Police cars were everywhere. Detective Williams, a tall black man with kind eyes, met me on the sidewalk. Miss Mitchell, we're about to enter the building. Helen Morrison is on the 8th floor. We have reason to believe your daughter is in there. Let me come with you, I begged. Ma'am, I can't let you. Please, she's my baby. She'll be so scared. She needs to see me. Detective Williams looked at another officer, who nodded. Okay. But you stay behind us at all times, understood? Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. We took the elevator to the 8th floor. My heart was pounding so hard I thought it might explode. The elevator doors opened to reveal a sleek office with Morrison Family Services written in gold letters on the wall. Detective Williams and 4 other officers entered first, their badges out. A startled receptionist looked up from her desk. Chicago Police Department, Detective Williams said. We have a warrant to search these premises and to speak with Helen Morrison immediately. She's in a meeting. The receptionist stammered. Where? The receptionist pointed to a closed door down the hall. The officers moved quickly. Detective Williams knocked once, then opened the door. I pushed forward to see into the room, and my heart stopped. There was my Lily, sitting on a couch next to a strange woman who I assumed was Helen Morrison. Across from them sat a well-dressed couple in their 30s, smiling and talking to Lily like they knew her. Lily! I screamed. My daughter's head whipped around. Mummy! She shrieked and jumped off the couch, running toward me. I dropped to my knees and caught her in my arms. holding her so tightly I was afraid I might hurt her. She was crying. I was crying. I kissed her head over and over. "I'm here, baby. I'm here. You're safe now." "What is the meaning of this?" Helen Morrison demanded, standing up. She was a thin woman with sharp features and expensive clothes. "You're interrupting a private meeting?" "Helen Morrison, you're under arrest for child trafficking and fraud," Detective Williams said, pulling out handcuffs. The couple on the couch looked shocked and confused. "Child trafficking? We were told this was a legal adoption," the man said. "Did you pay money for this adoption?" Detective Williams asked them. "Yes, $50,000 so far, with another $50,000 upon finalization," the woman said. "But we were told everything was legal." "You were lied to," Detective Williams said. "This child was not available for adoption. She was taken from her mother through fraud." Helen Morrison's face went pale. "I have documentation. The grandparent said the mother was incompetent. They had legal authority to—" "They had no such authority," Detective Williams interrupted. "And you didn't verify any of it properly because you were too interested in your $100,000 fee." He handcuffed Helen Morrison while reading her rights. The couple on the couch looked horrified. "We didn't know," the woman said, tears in her eyes. "We thought this was legal. We would never take a child from her mother." I believed them. They looked as shocked as I felt. They were victims too, in their own way. The police took Helen Morrison away. The couple left, devastated and probably out $50,000. Detective Williams took Lily and me to a private room to get Lily's statement about what had happened. My daughter sat on my lap, refusing to let go of me, while she told her story in a small, shaky voice. "Grandma and Grandpa took me to the airport like they said," Lily began. "But then instead of going to Florida, they bought me a ticket to Chicago. They said it was a surprise stop before Disney World." "Go on, sweetie," Detective Williams said gently. "They told me I was going to meet some nice people in Chicago who would take me to Disney World because they had to go home for something important. They said I should be good and not call Mommy because it would ruin the surprise." I held her tighter, fury building in my chest at my parents. "The flight attendant was really nice," Lily continued. "She stayed with me on the plane and gave me extra cookies. When we got to Chicago, she took me to a special room for kids who are traveling alone." "And then what happened?" Detective Williams asked. "Then that lady, the one you just arrested, came and said she was taking me to meet my new friends. She seemed nice at first. She took me to her office and gave me toys to play with." Lily's voice got smaller. "But then she started asking me weird questions, like if I loved my mommy, and if my mommy took good care of me. I said yes because you do, Mommy. You take the best care of me." "You're absolutely right, sweetheart," I said, kissing her head. "Then that couple came in," Lily continued. "They were being super nice to me, asking what I liked and what my favorite foods were. They said they wanted to be my new parents." "What did you say to that?" Detective Williams asked. "I said I already have a parent. I have my mommy, and she's the best mommy in the whole world. I don't need new parents." I started crying again, holding my brave little girl. The lady Helen kept saying that maybe I would like having two parents, and living in a big house, and having lots of toys. But I told her I didn't care about big houses or toys. I just wanted to go home to my mommy. "You're so brave, Lily," Detective Williams said. "Did they say anything about your grandparents?" "Helen talked on the phone to Grandma once. I heard her say something about paperwork and money. Then she told me that my grandparents thought this was best for me. But I didn't understand. Why would Grandma and Grandpa send me away from my mommy? That was the question I wanted answered too." After giving her statement, Lily was examined by a doctor to make sure she was physically okay. Thankfully, she was fine, scared, and confused, but not hurt. While Lily was with the doctor, my phone rang. It was Officer Davis from back home. "Miss Mitchell, we've located your parents. They're in custody now." "Good," I said coldly. "I want them prosecuted for everything. Child abandonment, fraud, conspiracy, whatever you can charge them with. We're working on that. But there's something you need to know. Your father is claiming this was all a misunderstanding." "A misunderstanding?" I shouted, making several people in the police station look at me. I lowered my voice. He abandoned my daughter at an airport and tried to have her illegally adopted. What part of that is a misunderstanding? He's saying that he genuinely believed you were struggling financially and that Lily would have a better life with a wealthy family. He claims he was trying to help by traumatizing my daughter, by terrifying me, by committing multiple felonies. Officer Davis sighed. I know. His excuse is ridiculous. But he's also saying that he paid Helen Morrison $150,000 to arrange the adoption, and he's demanding that money back since it didn't work out. I laughed bitterly. Of course he is. He's not sorry for what he did. He's sorry it didn't work and sorry he lost money. The good news is that his own words prove intent, Officer Davis said. He admitted paying for an illegal adoption. The DA is going to charge him with conspiracy to commit fraud, child trafficking, and child abandonment. And my mother? She'll face the same charges. She was equally involved in planning and executing this scheme. Good, I said again. I never want to see them again. That night, Lily and I stayed in a hotel near the police station. I ordered room service chicken nuggets and fries for Lily, though I couldn't eat anything myself. Lily picked at her food, quieter than usual. Finally, she looked up at me with tears in her eyes. Mommy, I'm sorry. Sorry? Baby, you have nothing to be sorry for. I should have known something was wrong. I should have called you from the airport. I should have told the flight attendant that I didn't want to go to Chicago. I pulled her into my lap. Lily, listen to me. None of this is your fault. Not one single bit. You're 8 years old. You trusted your grandparents because children are supposed to be able to trust their grandparents. You did nothing wrong. But I was so scared, she whispered. When that lady said I was going to have new parents, I got so scared, Mommy. I thought I'd never see you again. Oh, baby, I said, rocking her gently. I would have found you no matter what. I would have searched the whole world. You're my daughter, and nothing, and no one will ever take you away from me. We lay in the hotel bed together. Lily curled up against me like she used to when she was tiny. I didn't sleep. I just held her, thanking God that she was safe. The next morning, Detective Williams drove us to the airport. Lily held my hand tightly the entire way, afraid to let go. Miss Mitchell, you'll need to come back for the trial, Detective Williams said. Helen Morrison is facing serious charges, and your testimony will be important. I'll be there, I promised. I want her punished for what she did. We recovered the $50,000 that the couple had paid. That money will be held as evidence. Eventually, they'll get it back. As for the $150,000 your father paid Morrison, we're still tracing that money. I don't care about the money, I said. I just care that my daughter is safe. Detective Williams smiled. You're a good mother, Miss Mitchell. Your daughter is lucky to have you. Those words meant everything to me. Because that's what this had all been about, really. My parents thought I wasn't a good enough mother because I wasn't wealthy. They thought money was more important than love. But they were wrong. Lily didn't need a big house or expensive toys. She needed a mother who loved her, who would fight for her, who would cross the country to bring her home. And that's exactly what she had. When our plane landed back home, my best friend Maria was waiting at the airport with balloons and a "Welcome home, Lily" sign. Lily ran to her and hugged her tight. Aunt Maria, I missed you. I missed you too, sweetheart. Your mom told me you were very brave. Maria looked at me over Lily's head, and I saw tears in her eyes. She had been with me through the whole nightmare, fielding my panicked phone calls, praying for Lily's safe return. We went back to our small apartment, and Lily immediately went to her room to check on all her toys and make sure everything was exactly as she left it. Is she okay? Maria asked quietly. I don't know, I admitted. She seems okay now, but I'm worried about trauma. I'm going to get her into therapy immediately. And what about your parents? Have they tried to contact you? They're in jail, I said with satisfaction. And they'll stay there until the trial. Their lawyer tried to get them released on bail, but the judge denied it. They're considered flight risks. Maria shook her head. I still can't believe they did this. Your own parents. It's monstrous. They never thought I was good enough, I said. And they never thought Lily belonged with me. In their twisted minds, they probably thought they were doing the right thing. That doesn't make it any less evil. No, I agreed, it doesn't. I found an excellent child therapist named Dr. Amanda Chen who specialized in trauma. Lily started seeing her twice a week. At first, Lily didn't want to talk about what happened. She would just play with the toys in Dr. Chen's office and pretend everything was normal. But gradually, over several sessions, she started opening up. I felt like I did something wrong, Lily told Dr. Chen during their fourth session. I was listening from outside the room through a speaker. Like maybe Grandma and Grandpa sent me away because I wasn't good enough. My heart broke hearing those words. Do you still feel that way? Dr. Chen asked gently. Sometimes. But Mommy keeps telling me it wasn't my fault. She says Grandma and Grandpa were wrong, not me. Your mommy is absolutely right, Doctor, Chen said. Sometimes adults make terrible choices, and those choices hurt children. But that's never the child's fault. You didn't do anything wrong, Lily. Your grandparents did. Over time, Lily started to believe it. The nightmares she'd been having began to fade. She started smiling more, laughing more, being her normal, happy self. But she also became more cautious. She didn't trust as easily. She wanted to know exactly where I was at all times. If I left the room for even a minute, she would call out for me. Dr. Chen said that was normal and would improve with time. Lily's trust had been broken, and it would take a while to rebuild. 3 months after the incident, the trial began. My parents were being tried in our home state for child abandonment and conspiracy. Helen Morrison was being tried separately in Chicago for child trafficking and fraud. I had to testify, which meant reliving the nightmare all over again. But I wanted to do it. I wanted the jury to understand exactly what my parents had done. The prosecutor, a sharp woman named Lisa Park, asked me detailed questions about my relationship with my parents, the vacation plan, and the horrible day I discovered Lily was missing. Miss Mitchell, why do you think your parents did this? She asked. They never thought I was good enough, I said, my voice steady despite the emotions swirling inside me. They're wealthy and successful, and I'm just a single mother working 2 jobs. They thought Lily deserved better than me. They thought money was more important than love. And what would you like to say to your parents now? I looked directly at my mother and father, who were sitting at the defense table looking older and smaller than I remembered. I would like to say that you failed, I said clearly. You tried to take away the most precious thing in my life, and you failed. Lily is home with me where she belongs. And you will never see her again. You lost your granddaughter forever because of your arrogance and cruelty. My mother started crying. My father stared at the table. I felt nothing for them. No pity. No forgiveness. They had killed any love I had for them the moment they abandoned my daughter at that airport. The jury deliberated for less than 3 hours. That's how clear-cut the case was. On the charge of child abandonment, we find the defendants guilty. On the charge of conspiracy to commit fraud, we find the defendants guilty. On the charge of child endangerment, we find the defendants guilty. My parents were sentenced to 5 years in prison each, though they would be eligible for parole after 3 years. They were also ordered to pay restitution and court costs. In Chicago, Helen Morrison received a 10-year sentence for child trafficking. She would serve at least 7 years before being eligible for parole. As I walked out of the courthouse that day, I felt a weight lift from my shoulders. Justice had been served. My parents would pay for what they did. But more importantly, Lily was safe. She was healing. And she knew, without any doubt, that her mother would always protect her. 6 months after the trial, Lily and I moved to a new apartment in a better neighborhood. I had been promoted at the hospital, which meant better pay, and I could quit my weekend waitressing job. For the first time in years, I had time to actually be with my daughter. We cooked dinner together every night. We read books before bed. We went to the park on weekends. We were building a life, a simple life, but a happy one. Lily was doing well in school and had made several good friends. Her nightmares had mostly stopped. She was laughing again, being silly, acting like a normal 8-year-old girl. "Mommy, I'm glad it's just us," she told me one night as I tucked her into bed. "Yeah? Why's that?" "Because you're all I need. I don't need grandparents who are mean. I don't need a big house. I don't need anything except you." I kissed her forehead. "And you're all I need too, baby. We're a team. You and me. Forever and ever. Forever and ever." 1 year after the trial, I received a letter in the mail. It was from my mother, written from prison. I almost threw it away without reading it. But curiosity got the better of me. The letter was 5 pages long, filled with apologies and explanations. My mother claimed they had only wanted what was best for Lily,